Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. Mattel just dropped a full catalogue of reveals for their Spring 2024 Turtles of Grayskull MOTU crossover line. There appears to be at least 3 full waves of 4 figures each that are shown here, enough for a full year's worth of product. So I guess that this will be competing at retail together with the cartoon collection. Well, at least for countries that still want to carry MOTU in stores, while still trying to deal with everything else from years ago that's still on clearance. But hey, guys, what about the Classics Origins line? Okay, I know that these are supposed to be turning up on Mattel Creations at some point, but have you noticed how all communication on that series seems to have grinded to a halt? Like nobody's talking about it at all. Now, I've covered about half of these figures on the channel already, but the catalog has a lot of new character debuts and also new official images of the Wave 1 figures. Now, I've not talked about how I personally feel about this line because when it comes to MOTU, I think that I've been taking into account some of the audience feedback through the years about how sharing how you really feel can affect the channel negatively. And it's one of the reasons why you don't get the support that you need, because the channels that succeed take a positive approach. Okay, it's like an unwritten rule. You never say anything negative about these toys. So even if you like 10 of the figures but disliked one, the audience reacts negatively to the one that you didn't like. Right? So with MOTU, I'm going to wait until I see the level of support that I need for this channel before doing more honest takes in the future. Because the other thing I've learned as well after a year of pushing for channel growth is that asking for support can be like a dead sentence to the channel. All right, a lot of people just don't like to hear YouTubers asking for support, subscriptions, likes, comments, anything like that. All right, but you guys know how it is. So let's just talk and discuss about the images as they are, as they've been presented to us. Like I said, okay, we've seen all the Wave 1 figures already. However, I do like how they've actually given us this breakdown of the Man-at-Arms figure. Okay, they've like completely separated all of his armor bits. It kind of looks like a deluxe figure, except that, well, everything that you see here is supposed to go onto the figure, right? Like at one go. So without the armor, he kind of looks like he's in his pajamas heading into bed. Same deal here with this Beastman figure that's likely rolling out in Wave 2. You see all of the various separate bits that you're getting, but the figure doesn't work at all without the armor being attached on. Okay, without the armor, it just looks like the plain old Origins Wave 1 Beastman figure. But you see the amount of new samurai-like armor sections that you're getting with this figure, and it does look impressive. There's like all new skeletal-like whip and a ferociously intimidating looking beast head on the shield. In fact, the face that's on the helmet looks creepy as fuck too. Now weirdly, when you look at the catalog picture, you realize that they probably forgot to snap on his shoulder armor sections for the photo shoot, and that's probably why he looks so skinny here. Raphael has always been a fan favorite, and I think a lot of fans are going to be very happy here. The helmet and chest look like they're suiting him up to take on the mutated Ram Man that's also in this wave. And he doesn't get any recycled weapons here either, as all of the blade accessories here look like they're brand new tooling. The mutated Ram Man looks almost animalistic. Okay, I mean, he's got hoofs instead of feet. The helmet looks like it was fused with the skull of an actual battle ram. The weapons look reused from his Origins figure set, but there does appear to be new detail work here. Like these sections here look like rough animal skin that's on the handles. And we get one of the line's main villains, the Shredder. I'm surprised that Shredder gets a lame, reused hot crossbow, but his axe weapon is just bitching. Okay, the axe weapon is like something straight out of Spawn: The Dark Ages. Okay, Shredder is pretty much very true to his original TMNT design. There doesn't seem to be a lot of crossover elements here. Like this could be a regular TMNT release, but just with all new armor. And I think that it was a smart move for them to not switch up his design too much. Okay, people want a legitimate Shredder figure, as there's a lot of possibilities with that Origins body. Okay, and then we're down to the last 4 figures here from the catalog. And you know what, guys? If you're looking at this entire batch of figures that are shown here, okay, there's way more villains than there are heroes, okay? And that's freaking fantastic, I think. But this final wave here, I mean, assuming that these are how the figures are going to be rolling out, and I suppose they are, this final wave of 4 figures here is just an entirely villain-heavy wave, okay? Every single character here is a villain, and some of them we've seen before, like this trap jaw figure here, which apparently, as it turns out, is called mouse jaw. Okay, I'm not really sure how everyone's going to feel about that. Such an intimidating character like this being called mouse jaw. But I suppose that was the only way they could work out the crossover element. So he is kind of like a two-pack because you get one of the Mauser figures too. And there doesn't seem to be any of the traditional weapon attachments that Trapjaw commonly comes with. He does get a translucent flame effect that can be attached to his weapon arm. And it looks like the Mauser character can also be attached to his weapon arm. And the flame effect can also be inserted into the Mauser's mouth. Okay, if you look at these images here, definitely a lot of play value. Even if I would say probably the white that's on the armor, the white color there, maybe doesn't really work for everyone. But let me know in the comments. Okay, and then we also have Krang, which we also saw images of earlier. But this is probably one of those figures that's maybe going to be a deluxe. I'm not really sure, but it does look imposing, and especially with those weapons that he comes with. All of this stuff just looks really imposing. There's some great detailing there on the axe. I think that flail weapon there just looks sick, okay? It's got like an attachment there that you can just plug into his arm socket, just yank out one of his hands and just plug this thing in there. You just have him swing it around, just bashing stuff up. I think the overall design really works in terms of its translation, and it's kind of a two-pack, okay, because you get the Krang brain head, okay, and then the rest of him is basically just what's supposed to be the android body in the classic series, but here it's more of like a mutant ogre or something like that. And you also get a separate chamber for the Krang head to be fitted in. So I have to say overall that this thing actually comes with the most stuff probably that you can actually swap in and swap out and remove for separate display option. I think a lot of people are just gonna freaking love this. Okay, this whole final wave here, okay, is just packed with goodies, okay, especially this mutated Mossman. Holy shit, okay. It's like every time there's a Mossman figure, all right, in any particular wave, okay, it appears to be the standout. I mean, the last time around, Origins was an exclusive, okay, because it's just packed with so much stuff in there. And then there's also the one that's based off the Netflix cartoon, which went into very limited circulation. I saw people managing to get hold of this particular figure online. I think they paid a bomb for it or something like that, okay? But they're just so happy to finally be able to get this figure. I think that the Mossman for the Netflix cartoon, the figure looks great, okay? It's kind of like a Silverhawks character also because of the bird that it comes with, all right? But every time there's a Mossman figure, it seems like they're going all out. And once again, right here with this one, they've covered him from top to bottom with translucent green plastic. The effect just looks freaking fantastic. And he also comes with a ton of other monstrous-like attachments. I don't know what these are supposed to be, like spider legs or something like that. But he also gets the head of a giant fly. Okay, this looks like a fly, like he's supposed to be half Baxter Stockman, all right, or something like that. So anyway, you can make him into some kind of a mutated monster. There's a lot of possibilities here again. And in one of the images that they've shared, he's actually holding on to that fly head as though it's some kind of a shield, I guess. So I'm not really sure if that thing actually fits on his head. It should be able to, right? Okay, but either way, yeah, definitely a really creepy, swampy looking creature. Okay, he's definitely a mutated monstrosity. Then we get down to Slash, or as he's called here, Slaker, okay, because he appears to be some kind of a hybrid between Slash, the evil mutant snapping turtle, and Faker from MOTU. Okay, as you can see, he's even got the chest circuitry here, just like how Faker's got it. Now, Slash has always been one of my all-time favorite Ninja Turtle characters, okay, because he's just a bad-looking Ninja Turtle. Okay, that's how it's built up to be. And I've always liked the design of the original 80s figure. I thought the sculpting on it was really great, and also like the weapons that he came with. Overall, I just felt that he was just a really great, unique character to come out in the line back in the 80s. And it's great that he's represented here as well. But does he really need to be combined with another villain because he's already a bad guy, right? So combining him with another villain kind of sounds a little bit strange. Okay, but I guess there's a purpose for it. Faker is supposed to be like a decoy. So is he supposed to confuse the good guys or the bad guys here? I'm not really sure. In any event, I've seen a lot of people online get really excited with the new reveals. A lot of people also have a hands-off kind of approach to it, like, keep that shit away from me. But I think that, there's a lot of unique designs that we're seeing here. Definitely a lot of creativity, and we're also seeing a lot of possibilities here for mix and matching with the Origins figures that we already have on hand. This, of course, will not be the last, okay, that we're seeing of the Turtles of Grayskull, because they haven't revealed stuff to us like Michelangelo. Okay, where's that guy supposed to be at? And also Skeletor. I will say that from the range of figures that we're seeing here, this does appear to be something that Mattel is fully committed to. Okay, this isn't going to be like one of those one-off kind of deals, like, you know, like maybe when the Transformers crossed over with Back to the Future. Okay, remember that one? They did like one single comic book, they did a toy tie-in, and that's it. Okay, nobody ever heard anything else about those guys ever again. But this appears to be one of those crossovers that Mattel is in for probably a couple of years. Okay, if done correctly, I think that there's a lot of possibilities here. You know, whether or not you guys are on board with it, for the line to just keep running. In the meantime as well, I also want to know what's happening with those classic Origins figures, okay? Those figures from the line that we initially started collecting all the way back in 2020. What's happening with that series, okay? Looking forward to some updates on that. Guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys again real soon. Take care out there.